right, coast to coast, border to border, and all those ships at sea. America's #1 program on wrestling and mixed martial arts is USA Takedown. I'm Scott Casper in studio today with Joshua Sassby. It's pretty cool to see you again, Joshua, other than on a Zoom call, but in person. You know, I go out to the lobby, and you had already arrived, and I always take a little bit of a break between one show and another, about a half-hour break. But it's great just to sit and chat with you in person for a change. Do you enjoy being on the road?
I enjoy traveling.
Yeah.
I just don't enjoy the driving part.
Now, you go to Denmark, right?
Yes.
And what other countries have you been to because of wrestling?
Budapest, Paris. We usually try to make the World Championships. I actually went to the cadets in Greece, probably I think 2 years ago.
Well, you mentioned Budapest, Dateline Budapest. The men's freestyle portion of the Cadet World Championships drew to a close, and it was a 3-horse race between Team USA, India, and Russia. And why was that? Because of a young man named Beau Bassett. Beau Bassett is the very model of a wrestler, the kind of guy that the brand name Barbarian could get behind because he's doing nothing wrong. He joins us now on the Defense Soap Newsmaker Hotline. Beau Bassett. Beau, you and your dad are with us this morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Is this Bill or is this Beau?
We're both on this line. So.
All right, great. And this is Beau then. Okay. Beau, yes. First of all, congratulations on an outstanding effort in Budapest. The race was exceedingly close, but you made it look easy. Wrestling guys that were a year, 2 years, in some cases even a little bit older, you made him wrestle your game, and by God, you won out. It's the first cadet team title in history for India, but one of the best performances I've ever seen by a wrestler was you.
Yes, thank you so much. It was great out there in Budapest. Like you said, it was really close team race, and we knew going into the final day that I definitely had to get the win against the Russian in the finals, and a couple other things had to play out for us to place in the top 3 and end up, maybe winning it and things like that. But it was great time being out there in Budapest, and it was a really fun experience. And to wrestle at the cadet level, being super young, was really cool as well. So
now, did you have to sign off on this? And Bill, you jump in too. Did you have to sign any special forms that would alleviate or hold the producers of the event harmless should any problem take place?
So this is Beau's dad, Bill. We had to sign. There was actually 4 consent forms. Beau's 14 years old, and the age group for cadets is 17 and below. So it's usually 16 and 17-year-olds. If you're 15, you don't have to sign a waiver yet, but a 14-year-old does, and it's very rare that 14-year-olds make the cadet world, the World Championship. So we had to sign waivers for the UWW, and it was kind of interesting. We had to get a doctor to sign off and trainers to sign off, and then my wife and I had to sign one as well. So that was definitely interesting.
And because of that waiver that you signed, you were able to wrestle up, okay? At 45 kilos, you became the second American. I want you to listen to this, folks. You became the second American to claim a cadet world title that week. You earned 2 pins and a tech fall en route to the finals with the youngest competitor in the bracket. You were only 14 years old at the time, but at the end of it, I got to believe you felt like you were 16.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy. I was the only one in the whole entire weigh-in line. The whole day that I was there at the weigh-ins that had papers, and everybody was looking at why do you have papers and stuff. But it was definitely cool. It was definitely a young dude, and the baby face thing. So
I love that. And by the way, thank you for sending and posting pictures. I was communicating with your dad even as you guys were on the ground in Hungary, and it's that special relationship on this program that I'm afforded opportunities like that. And believe me, I do not take them lightly. It's special indeed to be able to know that your guy is literally doing the level best representing the United States of America. How proud were you to represent Team USA?
I was super proud. It was great. It was like a dream come true. Ever since I was 6 years old, and I saw that you can, go to that level and wrestle overseas. It was a dream of mine. And then when I made the team back in, I think it was April or May, it didn't really hit me. It didn't really hit me until I was getting on the plane, and you see how long it is, and it's an 8-hour flight. overseas, and that's when it really hit me, and I was just so proud, so happy to be at the World Championships and to chase my dreams.
That 8-hour flight you're talking about, I've been to Afghanistan, I've been to Iraq, I've been to Iran, and these USO flights generally are 10 to 13 hours, and that was an eternity for me, but thank God for business class. But the wrestlers coming back from Tokyo, many of them, like Kyle Dake, 27 hours from takeoff to touchdown. 27 hours.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine that. I mean, 8 was really bad for me, so 27 would be, that's really bad. So
Coach Gable.
I just
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we got business class. I know there was business class and first class on there. I'm not sure if we had business what we had, but I mean, obviously you have the TV screen and stuff, and the seats are nice, but still for me, I can't sleep in cars and planes and stuff like that, so it was a long 8 hours for sure.
You're like a caged animal is what you are. You're just wanting to get out there and stretch the muscles. We're talking with Beau Bassett, becoming the second American to claim a cadet world title in Budapest, Hungary. And, we've been in your corner for a while now. Coach Gable once said, good news, you're wrestling today. Bad news, you got the Russian. Well, in the finals, you did have the Russian. Matter of fact, you wrestled for gold. You squared off against Azhanov in a battle that was pivotal to the team race. He was the third wrestler to score the first takedown on you in the tournament, but similar to the others, he fared rather poorly in the end result. What was it like giving up that takedown to him? What did it do to you and your mental state at that point?
Yeah, Azhanov is a great opponent. Obviously, the Russian was really cool to wrestle him in the finals, the classic America versus Russian thing. But to give up that first takedown definitely, got me in the zone. We were going hard. The guy's a really good wrestler. Obviously, making the world finals, he's a scrapper. He shrugged me by, I think, and took me down on a little shrug by. But, I just had to keep going, keep my pace rolling, and, just keep firing, keep attacking. And I knew eventually that he would break, and I would be able to open the match up. So
opening up with that takedown, he had scored first and got your attention. You stormed back then, earning 2 points on a go-behind, and you quickly followed it up with a set of exposure points off of another one of his shots. Talk to us about that, because what you're doing is setting him up for your success.
Yeah, so he got in deep. Like I said, he's a really good wrestler, making the world finals from Russia. He got in super deep. It was a great shot by him, and I just had to stay stingy in there. Obviously, I'm in those positions a lot. We do a lot of play wrestling at the Young Guns and compound and things like that, so I was ready for it. He had me deep. He had my leg in the air, and he was trying to hook it. And just at the last second, like I said, I've been in that position a lot. I knew exactly what to do. I just got my hips out of there, and I ended up going behind. So it was a really nice scramble, really nice flurry for me. But I was just really, I could say I was really seasoned in that position, and I definitely knew what I was doing, even when the guy's really deep on me. So one goes to play wrestling.
And Josh, as much as this was a freestyle event, he still found a way to put a little bit of folk style in on the deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Exactly.
I love that. And the fact that you finished with a cement job, that's so USA.
Yeah. So I was at the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club 2 days before I left. Sometimes I go up there and scrap with some of their smaller guys, like Gilman and guys like that. And I go up there, and David Taylor was there, and he was leaving for Tokyo pretty soon as well. Like I said, I was 2 days out from Budapest, and he told me, to make sure I still wrestle folk style, even though it's freestyle, and I don't get too overwhelmed with the word freestyle, and only try freestyle moves and things like that. So, I kept that in my head, and, I ended up getting the cement job to end it. The move that actually set up that scramble, we call it's called a head lever, but we call it the Nico, after Nico Megaludis, who we saw hit it in Rec Hall. We saw him hit that move. He just basically, it's a head lever, and he runs it up over the head. And his arm was there. The Russian's arm was kind of dangling when I was hitting a leg lace, and it just kind of set it up. I ran it up, and then I ended up getting a cement job off that scramble. But just using that folk style is very important freestyle.
Oh, my goodness sake. It's like talking to a 30-year-old veteran. Beau, I love you, brother. I do. And Bill, is it easy to keep Beau motivated, or does that even come into the part of the conversation where it seems like he's always on the go?
No, it's super easy. To be honest, he keeps me motivated. He keeps me going, and that's the one thing about Beau that makes him a little bit different than anyone I've ever been around as far as a coach, as a teacher, as, being around the sport a long time, is he's the most internally driven individual I've ever been around these 14, So that's the thing. Like people, you oftentimes you get people that, run their mouth and say like, oh, they work too hard and they do this and they do that. But unless you truly know Beau and you know what he does every day, then you wouldn't even say that, because you understand that, he's the one that gets up and he's the one making, lining practices up and all that stuff. So, no, that's never, ever been an issue. And, I think his energy is just kind of contagious to his teammates. And yeah. I know it's definitely contagious to his coaches as well.
And his parents, I got to believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so easy to feel the smile through the phone. On FaceTime, I can see it. But, man, I tell you what, it energizes me. It tells me I'm at the right place, even after all these years, to be able to be energized by somebody like Beau. What a great kid. With that win, and I've done my homework, I can't find anybody younger than you that has won a cadet world championship.
Yeah, that's accurate. So I'm the youngest cadet world champion, and, the youngest one ever to do it in the USA and in the world. And, I was always ready for it. Wrestling in the best room, I believe in the world. And, I wrestle a lot of college guys. I go to college practices as well. So I was definitely ready for the older guys.
14 years old. Okay, so to know Beau, I know Beau. That should be a Barbarian apparel slogan based on an entire line of products. Is it legal for Beau to have his own line of clothing at this age? I don't know.
Not 100% sure.
I'm not actually sure either.
Yeah. Bill, do you know anything about that? Because he's so marketable. He's easily one of the best brands going.
To be honest with you, so we did they did a fundraiser for Beau, and they kind of sold some Beau shirts leading into the championship, leading into Budapest. And believe this or not, there was over 400 shirts sold in something like 30 different states. It was crazy the amount of reach that people were reaching out to get these shirts. But as far as, high school, middle school level kid, I'm not sure, especially now with the NLI thing.
Right.
It just got approved, but it's pretty interesting. I don't know.
It's all new.
It is so new, and therein lies the challenge for the manufacturers, guys that sponsor young athletes. And Barbarian Apparel has been a leader in making sure these athletes have an opportunity to buy product, to retail product at an affordable rate, so they do get the benefit. And that's the dollar made, right? Because a lot of them are self-funded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, we're still new to it. It's
it's a brave new world.
Yeah. You don't know exactly what you can do because you really haven't gone through a season. You're also seeing high school football players, not, playing their senior year to go to college so they can make, their money. So it'll be interesting to see how this year plays out. Right now we have Gas Tank Gary. He's an Ohio boy. So we'll see how it goes.
When we think about the Barbarian brand, you guys partner up with great people that it's easy to respect. It truly is. Yeah. Whether it's a female athlete or a male athlete, I think that distinction is falling further and further away from our lexicon, and I thank God for that. Tamira Mensah-Stock will be on next week, and we're going to talk to her about that. Being wrapped in the flag is a special responsibility and a special opportunity, but being wrapped in a Barbarian apparel-made flag, so it can fly high like the Stalemates event coming up tonight at Forte, a sold-out Stalemates event. You can watch it on Patreon, but to be affiliated with this event and for them to be affiliated with you, it's a win-win.
Oh, yeah.
And Bill, what's the name of your gym? Is it Compound?
It is the Compound. And yes, I know that some of the compounds has actually gone through Josh and got some Barbarian gear together.
Yeah. Okay.
And believe this or not, I think when Barbarian apparel came out, Beau and a couple guys from Ohio were on an all-star team back when they were younger. And I think Beau wrestled on the original Barbarian youth all-star team, and it was pretty crazy to look back because there were some freaking hammers on that team. I'm not sure. Josh might be able to answer that more, but
I think so. Was that the one with the similar singlet to the Stalemates? with the.
It was.
Yeah, it had the "I Love Mom" tattoo on the back.
It was. And, yeah, there were guys like Schauger was on there, and PJ Duke, and like now these guys are like the number one kids in the country. They're winning Fargo, winning Worlds. It was pretty cool to look back at that a team picture.
Yeah, I saw that still pops up. I know your 5 a.m. Workouts pump me up every day. I was like, man, I'm an hour behind.
I wake up at 5.
Yeah, I wake up. I'm not in the room like those guys are.
Well, come on now. You're biking. You're biking.
Yeah, I am.
You're biking throughout Iowa right now.
Right. That's what I'm going to be doing
it's
after this.
It's fantastic, the bike trails. Our guests on the Defense Soap Newsmaker Hotline, Beau and Bill Bassett. You might know Beau for sure. One of those that is behind him in a big way is his dad. Talk to us about your brother. How excited was he for that trip and to see you compete as you did?
Yeah, he was super excited. We weren't sure if he was going to be able to go after the World Team Trials with COVID and everything, but he ended up getting approved, him and my mom, and obviously my dad came, so all 4 of us came, and it was a really great trip. We spent 12 days in Budapest, and I stayed with them, and it was a really fun trip. It was business, but we were still having fun as well in the downtime and stuff, but he was super excited to be there. He obviously, one of his goals is to be at a world championship as he gets older to the cadet and level and stuff like that. But one of his goals is to one day run the flag around and be a world champ as well. I definitely think that he's capable of that. I'm working with him every day, but he was super excited. Emotionally, he was going pretty crazy. He was going wild. I could hear him in the crowd after I won the world title, and he was just overcome with emotions. But it was definitely his goal to one day be at a world championship and travel overseas like I did.
I remember watching Zeke Jones running around the mat up at Iowa State while his brother was wrestling, and you knew that little kid was going to be something great because of his intense love for not only his brother, but what his brother was doing. And I love that. Beau, it's always good to talk to you. Congratulations. Where is that medal now?
The medal's up in my room on my dresser right now. Keeping it close. Same with the belt, but super excited to have those. Anyone can go out and buy a medal, but it's what it says on the medal and it's the meaning behind it. So, saying cadet world champion and obviously the belt, it's just really, really amazing things that I always wanted to have, ever since I started wrestling.
On behalf of the wrestling community, our friends at Barbarian Apparel, Defense Soap, etc., we're all so very proud of you. Thank you for joining us on the program today. It's so great to be able to talk with you. And thanks for the pictures, too.
Yes, thank you guys for having me. It's great. I told you I'd be back, and here we are, but thank you very much.
14 years old, talking like a 30-year-old. Bill, thank you, bud. But I appreciate it, Coach.
Absolutely.
What a great day for wrestling. Beau Bassett, Bill Bassett on the phone line, Joshua Saspy in the studio. We're going to take a quick time out. Defense Soap Newsmaker Hotline will stay in the studio as we continue our conversation with Joshua Saspy, one of our longtime sponsors. And this is the calm before the storm, the Stalemate Street League, coming up tonight on this August 13th. Stay tuned. More after this.